All right, so today we're going deep into some really fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
We're talking about the FBI's own UFO files.
Oh, wow.
Now, you probably think of them chasing, bank robbers and criminals,
Right, right.
but this deep dive is taking us straight into like X-Files territory.
It is. It's a side of the FBI I think most people don't even realize existed.
Right.
We're talking about real government documents, declassified stuff that reveals investigations into UFOs.
Yeah. And when we're going deep into the FBI's vault, have you ever heard of this?
Oh, yeah.
It's their online archive of all of these declassified files.
I mean, there's so much in there.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And there's a whole section dedicated to UFOs.
No.
I was reading through these, and it's like stepping back into the Cold War era.
You really feel that tension, right?
Yes.
That sense of paranoia, but also wonder, like we're talking about the late 1940s, early 50s.
Yeah.
A time when the world was on edge and it felt like the skies themselves, held all these secrets.
Oh, yeah. And remember, the Air Force was brand new back then.
Right.
They were taking the lead on UFO investigations, but the FBI got involved too. And their files cover a period from like 1947 to 1954.
Which is so crucial because we're not just talking about like random sightings here.
Right.
These documents, they represent a systematic effort by the FBI.
Oh, wow.
To collect data, to analyze these reports, to assess, the potential threat posed by UFOs.
So they're taking this seriously.
Oh,
why
yeah.
why were they worried about these unidentified objects like buzzing around?
Well, imagine you're the FBI during the Cold War.
Oh.
Every unexplained blip on the radar could be a Soviet spy plane.
Right.
Or some new terrifying weapon.
Yeah.
National security was absolutely paramount.
So they couldn't just dismiss these reports as swamp gas or weather balloon.
No, they couldn't. They had to investigate.
Wow. And the documents show they went beyond just collecting like eyewitness accounts.
Oh, yeah.
They looked into radar data. They interviewed pilots.
They even consulted with scientists.
Wow. So they were applying their investigative skills to UFOs.
Yes.
Just like they would with any other potential threat.
Exactly.
Did they have any specific teams dedicated to this, like a real-life X-Files unit?
Well, they didn't have a designated, X-Files division, but the documents show that specific agents and offices were tasked with handling these UFO reports.
Wow.
And get this, they even gave some of their investigations these intriguing code names.
Like what?
Like Flying Discs and Project Blue Book.
Code names. Now, that's straight out of a spy thriller.
Right.
This is getting more intriguing by the minute. Did they ever publicly acknowledge their involvement?
Well, it's important to remember that much of this was happening behind closed doors.
Okay.
Publicly, the FBI downplayed its role. They deferred to the Air Force as the lead agency.
So they were quietly collecting information, analyzing reports, trying to make sense of these unexplained phenomena, while the public was captivated by the idea of flying saucers.
That's exactly the context we need to keep in mind.
Yeah.
The UFO phenomenon, it wasn't just a curiosity. It was intertwined with Cold War anxieties, technological advancements, and this growing sense that we might not be alone in the universe.
Okay, so we've got the FBI, we've got Cold War paranoia.
Yeah.
We've got a whole lot of mystery in the air, but what did they actually find? What secrets are buried in these declassified files?
Well, that's where we're heading next.
Okay.
We'll dig into the specific types of sightings they investigated, the methods they used, the conclusions, if any, that they reached.
Right.
Prepare yourself. Some of these reports are truly mind-boggling.
All right, listeners, you heard it here. We're about to unlock the secrets of the FBI's UFO investigations. Stay tuned, because this deep dive is about to get really strange.
In a good way, of course.
In a good way, of course.
Okay, so let's delve into these FBI files and uncover some of these strange encounters they documented.
You mentioned mind-boggling reports earlier. Like, lay it on me.
Okay.
What kind of sightings were they dealing with? Are we talking little green men or?
Well, the reports really run the gamut.
Okay.
From mysterious lights in the sky to detailed accounts of unidentified aircraft.
Okay.
Some even shaped like those classic flying saucers we all imagine.
So I'm picturing like grainy photos of blurry lights. Is that what we're talking about, or do they have anything more concrete?
Yeah, there are those for sure.
Okay.
But some reports include detailed sketches drawn by witnesses.
Wow.
And even pilot testimonies describing close encounters.
Really?
One fascinating case involves multiple witnesses.
Okay.
Including police officers who saw a large disc-shaped object hovering over a town in New Mexico in 1950.
Hold on. Police officers saw this thing that's not your average UFO enthusiast sighting?
Right.
What did they say about it?
No, they described it as glowing with this eerie orange light and moving at incredible speed, something they had never witnessed before.
Wow.
And this wasn't an isolated incident either.
No way.
Similar reports poured in from all corners of the country, described as flying discs, silver spheres, even cigar-shaped objects.
It sounds like they were dealing with a real phenomenon then, not just a few isolated cases of mistaken identity.
Yeah, it does seem that way.
Did they ever find any physical evidence, pieces of these mysterious craft or anything like that?
That's the holy grail, isn't it? While they meticulously documented, witness accounts, radar data, even investigated potential landing sites.
Yeah.
The released files don't mention any recovered materials or wreckage.
Okay, so a lot of intriguing leads, but no smoking gun.
Right.
What about their investigative techniques? Did they use the same methods they would for a typical criminal case?
In some ways, yes.
Okay.
They interviewed witnesses, they cross-referenced reports with weather data and flight records.
Yeah.
And even sent agents out to investigate potential landing sites.
Wow.
But they also consulted with scientists and engineers, trying to determine if there were any known technologies that could explain these sightings.
So they weren't afraid to reach out to experts outside the FBI, which makes sense.
Yeah.
They were facing something completely unprecedented. Did they ever consider the possibility of, extraterrestrial origins?
That's the question everyone wants answered, right?
Right.
The documents themselves are surprisingly cautious. They often acknowledge the strangeness of the accounts, the inability to explain everything away conventionally.
Right.
But they stop short of attributing them to aliens.
It's like they were walking a tightrope, trying to investigate these phenomena thoroughly without fueling public hysteria.
Yeah.
Or admitting they might be dealing with something truly beyond comprehension.
Yeah, their approach seems to have been one of cautious skepticism.
Okay.
For instance, some documents explore potential links to foreign espionage.
Which makes sense.
Especially given the Cold War tensions.
Yeah, an unidentified aircraft in the sky during the Cold War. I mean, your mind immediately goes to enemy spies.
Exactly.
But it sounds like they were open to other possibilities as well.
Absolutely. Some reports even delve into the possibility of advanced unknown technologies, perhaps beyond human understanding at the time.
So they weren't ruling out the truly extraordinary. Did they ever speculate about what these advanced technologies might be? Did they have any working theories?
There are hints and glimpses within the documents that point to various possibilities they considered.
Yeah.
Some reports mention electromagnetic disturbances associated with sightings, suggesting they were open to the idea of technologies that could manipulate forces we didn't fully understand. Okay,
so we've got mysterious lights, we've got potential spy planes, and even whispers of advanced technologies beyond our grasp. What I'm hearing is the FBI took these reports seriously, investigated them thoroughly, but ultimately couldn't reach a definitive conclusion.
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
They were diligent in gathering information and exploring every possible explanation.
Yeah.
But the mystery remained.
That's right.
And that, perhaps, is what makes these documents so fascinating.
It's like a detective story without a satisfying ending.
Yeah.
We get to see the investigation unfold, the evidence analyzed, the theories debated, but the ultimate truth remains elusive.
Exactly. And it raises so many questions.
Like what?
What were they really seeing? What did the FBI truly believe? And perhaps most importantly, what else might still be hidden in those classified files we haven't seen yet?
All right, listeners, we've gone deep into the heart of the FBI's UFO investigations, and it's clear the truth is out there somewhere.
It is.
But the quest for answers doesn't end here.
No, it doesn't. We'll explore what these findings mean, how they fit into the broader context of the UFO phenomenon, and what lessons we can draw from the FBI's approach to the unknown.
Okay, so we've seen the reports, the investigations. We even saw code names straight out of a spy movie. But what does it all mean? What can we learn from the FBI's deep dive into UFOs?
Well, I think what really strikes me is how seriously they took these reports, especially given the climate of the time.
Yeah.
Imagine the pressure to just dismiss it all as fantasy.
Right.
Yet they meticulously documented everything, investigated, and really sought out explanations.
It really challenges the stereotype of the FBI as solely focused on crime.
Right.
We're grappling with potential national security threats, unknown technologies, even the possibility of something truly extraterrestrial.
And their approach, that cautious skepticism.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. They didn't jump to conclusions,
Right.
but they didn't shy away from exploring every avenue, even those that might have seemed outlandish at the time.
It makes you wonder, if they were this thorough with what they declassified,
Right.
what might still be hidden in those classified files?
Yeah.
What led them to redact certain information?
Right.
What conclusions did they draw internally?
That's the enduring mystery, isn't it?
Yeah.
These documents, they offer a glimpse into a pivotal era,
Mm-hmm.
but they also raise more questions than they answer.
Right.
It highlights how much we still don't know about our own history,
Yeah.
let alone what might be out there, beyond our planet.
It's like we've only just scratched the surface.
Yeah.
These declassified files are like pieces of a puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still missing so many to see the full picture.
Exactly. And that's where critical thinking comes in.
Okay.
We can't just take these reports at face value.
Right.
We need to consider the context, the biases of the time, the limitations of the technology.
Yeah.
But we also need to be open to the possibility that there might be things we can't yet explain.
So it's not about blindly believing every UFO report,
Yeah.
but also not dismissing them outright.
Right.
It's about that balance, the same balance the FBI seems to have been striving for.
Precisely. And for anyone listening, that's a valuable lesson to carry forward.
Yeah?
Whether it's UFOs, scientific discoveries, or any unexplained phenomena,
Mm-hmm.
approaching the unknown with both skepticism and open-mindedness is crucial.
It's about asking questions, seeking evidence,
Yeah.
and being willing to challenge our own assumptions.
Yes.
Who knows? Maybe some of you listening will be the ones to uncover those missing pieces of the puzzle, to finally shed light on the truth about UFOs.
And remember, the FBI's vault is a public resource. You can explore these documents yourself.
That's right.
Dig into the history and draw your own conclusions. It's a fascinating journey into a time when the skies seem to hold endless possibilities.
Yeah.
And the truth, as they say, was out there.
So there you have it, folks. A deep dive into the FBI's secret history with UFOs. A story of mystery, intrigue, and a reminder that sometimes the most extraordinary discoveries begin with a simple question. What if? Keep looking up, keep exploring, and who knows what wonders you might find